Good evening and welcome. I'm Don Arleth and you're watching Flash News. We begin tonight with the European Commission's approval of the AstraZeneca vaccine for use in the EU after the European Medicines Agency gave the green light. However, the European Commission will block the export of vaccines outside the community for those companies who failed to deliver the product on time to member states. This is Brussels' response to problems with the planned deliveries by AstraZeneca.
Not only AstraZeneca, but also Pfizer and BioNTech are having problems meeting vaccine delivery deadlines. The Commission suspects that the corporations are selling vaccines to countries outside the community, which pay more.
It is important that we are able to monitor this situation, that we're able to know that the commitments that were in the EPAs are respected.
Meanwhile, the European Medicines Agency has authorized AstraZeneca's SARS-CoV-2 vaccine. The European Commission gave its approval for the vaccine to be marketed in the European Union.
It's a real pleasure to be here and to announce the third positive opinion for the authorization of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. This expands the range of vaccines available to EU and EEA member states, which will all help to bring the pandemic under control and protect the citizens of the EU.
Meanwhile, in Europe, more and more countries are withholding the administration of the first dose of the vaccine due to delivery delays. Such a recommendation has already been issued by the Czech Republic and Spain. Swiss pharmaceutical company Novartis announced that it has signed a preliminary agreement to make its facilities available to support vaccine production. First with Pfizer.
Poland has already ordered 16 million doses of the vaccine developed by AstraZeneca and Oxford University, although the company is now announcing delays in its delivery. On a good note, the number of people who have been vaccinated is increasing. At the moment, it's almost 1.1 million.
The first week of vaccinating seniors in Poland is slowly coming to an end. The result? On average, nearly 100,000 people a day were vaccinated. Super, I'm really so satisfied, so efficient, courteous, friendly, just getting vaccinated. Today, the European Medicines Agency gave the green light for the use of a third vaccine in Europe, developed by AstraZeneca and scientists from Oxford. Hence, the vaccination initiative will definitely gain momentum. It is easier to transport, it's a lot cheaper. You can store it longer after unpacking. Those are the things that will definitely make the vaccination process itself easier and probably faster. Poland has already contracted 16 million doses of this product. The approval of the AstraZeneca vaccine means that later this quarter we will have approximately 750,000 more people vaccinated. To date, almost 1,100,000 doses of the vaccine have been administered in our country, which makes Poland one of the leading countries in the European Union in terms of the speed of vaccination. Moreover, Poland has vaccinated more citizens than Germany or France, counting per 100 citizens.
Protests against the new abortion law kicked off for a third night in Poland. Demonstrators took to the streets in central Warsaw and some of the larger Polish cities.
The protest was bigger than the two previous nights, with thousands on the streets in the capital. The participants of the demonstration had banners with inscriptions such as "Limitless abortion" and "Abortion is my right." The Constitutional Tribunal on Wednesday confirmed that abortions due to fetal abnormalities are unconstitutional. Under the new rules, terminations will be permitted only in cases of rape and incest, and when the mother's life or health is endangered. Polish conservatives who supported the new limitations argued that they had finally secured equal human rights for unborn children and were shielding women from the trauma of abortion.
The future of transatlantic cooperation after the change in the U.S. administration and the upcoming NATO summit. These were the most important issues President Andrzej Duda discussed on a telephone call with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. It was the first conversation between the two politicians this year.
The future of transatlantic cooperation after the change in the White House was the main topic of President Andrzej Duda's conversation with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. What we are most interested in is the presence of the alliance in our region, including the presence of the most important ally, which is the United States. All this is being realized. Nothing indicates that it will be reduced. On NATO's eastern flank, despite the pandemic, there is a constant rotation of allied troops. The U.S. 2nd Cougar Squadron from the 2nd Cavalry Regiment from Wilczek, Germany, completed its shift at Bemowo-Piskie on Thursday. Its duties will be assumed by the 1st Squadron of War Eagles from the same unit under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Jason Adler.
Our main tasks are to build readiness of the battle group as well as to work on interoperability between the nations.
This is the 8th shift of Allied troops to arrive in Poland as part of NATO's enhanced forward presence on the eastern flank.
5 people died in a fire that broke out in the morning in one of the largest infectious diseases hospitals in the Romanian capital, Bucharest. 102 patients had to be evacuated. All the fatalities were patients from the COVID-19 ward.
The fire in one of the hospital buildings occurred before 5 a.m. and firefighters managed to put out the fire after more than 2 hours. 38 teams of firefighters took part in the extinguishing operation. 4 people were found dead and 5th died despite resuscitation attempts. Some people evacuated from the building were transferred to other hospitals. Matei Balza Hospital is one of the largest medical facilities in the Romanian capital where people with COVID-19 are treated. The Kremlin is trying to intimidate Russians ahead of a repeat of protests in defense of Alexei Navalny announced for Saturday. A Moscow court has placed the Russian opposition figure's closest associates under house arrest until the 23rd of March. All of them were charged with violating sanitary and epidemic norms in connection with participation in an illegal assembly. According to Russian independent media, this is part of preventive measures ahead of the demonstration in defense of Alexei Navalny announced for Sunday. The authorities warned that participation in these actions may be classified as mass riots, punishable by up to 15 years in prison. A large wave of protest is sweeping through Lebanon. There is at least 1 fatality and several hundred injured. Crowds set fire to government buildings. The Lebanese are protesting because they are fed up with poverty, unemployment and drastic restrictions. There is a 24-hour curfew in the country for 2 weeks now. Only employees of key industries can leave their homes. They are not even allowed to go shopping. Food can only be ordered home. The lockdown is expected to last at least until the 8th of February.
Several thousand customers from Podlasie in northeastern Poland are still without electricity. Repairing the damage from massive snowstorms will continue throughout the week. Snowfall is still expected and sub-zero temperatures reaching even minus 30 degrees are possible.
Podlasie and another week of snow. At 5 a.m. in the morning I thought I would go to work, but I resigned because I thought I would not make it by car. On the other side of Poland there is also a snowy landscape. In the highest located building in Poland, the meteorological observatory has been operating for 80 years. The absolute minimum temperature on Kasprowy was minus 30.2 degrees Celsius in 1963. It is possible that a record will be set this year. A severe frost is expected in mid-February. Climatologists and long-term forecasters say that February will still be full of winter. It may be that there will be values of minus 20 degrees Celsius and even minus 28. Such weather, as it turns out, affects road safety. In Pomerania, since the beginning of January, there were 66 accidents. This is half as much as the previous year. You can see that these unfavorable weather conditions are holding back the drivers. Those in southern Poland need to be especially careful in the coming hours. The Institute of Meteorology and Water Management has issued a warning due to freezing rain.
He was not the most important person during the inauguration of President Joe Biden, but he still became the star of the ceremony on Capitol Hill and the hero of many memes. Senator Bernie Sanders used this unusual moment of fame to create a variety of Bernie merch with his own image, which in a few days earned nearly $2 million.
Crossed arms, hunched back, casual outfit and original gloves. The photo went viral. Sanders did not have such fame during his entire political career. The senator from Vermont took advantage of that and released a collection of clothing and gadgets featuring the new iconic photo. Sweatshirts, t-shirts, sweaters and other products sold like hotcakes. $1,800,000 was raised just in a few days. The money will be donated to a program that provides hot meals to residents of Vermont in need. From the beach straight to the museum, such was the distance covered by this amber found by a Danish woman during a walk along the shore in Thorsmite. The woman initially thought that it was an ordinary amber. Still, it turned out to be a part of jewelry from at least 8,000 years ago. There is a small hole inside, drilled in such a way that the amber could have actually been a pendant. The find went to the National Museum in Copenhagen, where it received the status of a national treasure. It sounds futuristic, but it actually can be the close future. In the suburbs of the English Coventry, an airport for delivery drones and electric flying taxis will be built. It sounds futuristic, but it actually can be the close future. In the suburbs of the English Coventry, an airport for delivery drones and electric flying taxis will be built. The British government wants to spend on it over £1 million. The project is part of global plans to revolutionize urban transport. It will enable air taxis and drones to land, recharge and help reduce traffic congestion and smog. When the road turns into ice rinks and the snow is knee-deep, there is no better transportation than two boards. And so the world's first urban ski rental system was created in Lahti. They can be collected and returned at various points, just like bicycles. This year, Lahti is called the Green Capital of Europe. The urban skiers are part of the cleaner policy, and at the same time, it is pure joy for them.
And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching Flash News. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place. Good night.